Yo, brother, it's time for us to start talking the real, man. We've been sugarcoating too much. We've got to start calling everything out for what it is.
Hi, I'm here with the Commander, and again, a big shout out to Jason at eWheels for loaning me this wheel for some extended testing. And I have about 1,100 miles on this now, so you can see I've really been enjoying it. So I thought I'd give you a 1,000+ mile look at the wheel, see how it's stood up to the test of time. It has been holding up great for me. Now I've seen some people comment that they didn't think the plastic was very high quality, but I disagree. I still think this is a really nice plastic. Maybe some of the best that Godway has used yet. I have crashed this multiple times in the trails, once on the road. I had an incident, but I didn't fall off. It wasn't too high speed, and it's gotten scratched up, but it's held up pretty good. But let's face it, it is plastic after all, so ultimately it will it will break with big enough impact. Now, I'm a right footer when I launch, so my leg tends to be pressed up against this part of the shell, and you'll see Commander is just about all gone now. This part of the word is still there, and on the other side it's slowly starting to disappear here too. I don't know why Godway. I thought Godway learned their lesson from the Nikola when people were slicing up their hands from this sharp lettering. But apparently they haven't. The Mudguard has stood up to all the abuse I've thrown at it, through all the crashes and so forth. It has not popped off. Nice and robust and very effective at keeping dirt off your butt. You can see the Velcro that I mounted to the top, and that was for mounting my Sherman seat, since the shell is very similar to the shell on the Sherman. It does kind of fit, and this part can kind of mush into this section, so it kind of works, but when you're sitting on it, but it's not very stable, and essentially I've only ridden a couple times seated with it. Definitely need to come up with a good seat solution for the Commander, particularly since this is the longest range wheel that on planet Earth that you can currently buy, and yet it has no seat options available for it. The lights. These are fantastic lights for letting other people see you, but they continue to be horrible lights for you, the rider, since they hit the ground about 6 feet in front of you, just like the Monster Pro. They're worthless. Really unfortunate. I wanted to show you one thing about these lights that, like many of the Godway wheels, you can cycle through, 8+ different light patterns, but there's a couple patterns on this wheel which are synced to the speed that you're riding. So here you can see as I turn the tire, the lights rotate. And that's a nice touch. I really like that. When the faster you ride, the faster these lights rotate. And I think I've seen this in at least 2 of the different modes. There's a solid red one which also rotates. Now I know there are a bunch of you guys who are frustrated at me because I keep calling this a Godway wheel, and that actually I call all the current Godway wheels Godway wheels. I refuse to use the term Bigodi because I don't like it, and that's my prerogative. But Godway continues to use the Godway word and the logo on their products. You'll see GW appear, like on the power pads, GW, and I think on the shell, other places you'll see GW. When you connect to the wheel, it says Godway. It doesn't say Bigodi. In American terms, I like to think of this Bigodi-Godway relationship like General Motors and Chevy. So Bigodi would be the corporate, it would be like equivalent to General Motors. And Godway is a brand like Chevy. So that's why I'm going to continue to call them Godway until I see no evidence of the GW or the Godway in any of the product. And in this case, again, yes, it's made by Extreme Bowl, or that's the branding on it, but it's a Godway wheel. Uses Bigodi parts, the display, the firmware, the control board, that's Godway. Everything about this wheel screams Godway, so that's why I keep referring to it that way. But yes, technically this is an Extreme Bowl product. Let's talk about the pedals for a little bit now. Again, 1,100 miles riding on this wheel, and I do really like these pedals in terms of their size. Very large. But they're horrible for grip. These so-called spikes, or these blunted protrusions sticking out of the pedal, they're by no means sharp enough to really grip your shoes. And what I did is I took some grip tape. I use bought this at Home Depot. It's 3M. I'm pretty sure this is 3M safety walk tape that you can buy. And I put a couple layers on this outer part, and that's definitely helped. And then I also added a metal shim on the pedal hanger, and that gives just a slightly more angle to the pedal, which locks in your feet. And for the shim, it's just some sheet metal that you can buy at your home center. This would be like in the air conditioning section, I think, maybe, where you buy this for duct work, and cut it with tin snips. Very easy. And just I put one strip here. Right now I'm just using double-sided tape. On my Commander, I'll probably tap a hole here and use a screw to secure it. But the double-sided tape's been holding up fine. So with those two additions, my feet are staying on the wheel, and I'm getting much better clearance too from the ground, and not getting many pedal scrapes. I'm going to open up the wheel now to see how it looks inside. And I just noticed that this is the bottom of the pedal, and there's a kind of a plug that covers the magnet, and I know that's missing. And clearly, so the magnet looks like it's attached with a screw into the pedal, which is good. I love mechanical fasteners, but they just love hot glue. So that's so they screwed the magnet into the pedal, put a glob of hot glue, and then stuck on the I think it said EB. I think it was something like this. That's was put here, and just with hot glue, which will never last the test of time. This blue tape, by the way, is covering all the screws. So rather than take the screws out and risk losing them, I just put tape over the holes. And let's see how this looks inside after 1,100 miles of riding. A lot of riding on trails, very dusty trails, as you can see by the wheel. And I have cleaned this wheel a couple times on the outside. And it looks absolutely fantastic inside. Zero penetration of dust. Boy, what a difference. It's amazing how some wheels, I remember the 16X, Kingsong, right? Horrible in terms of keeping that. I mean, it would just be like you rode through that thing in dust and trails, and it was just horrible inside. So I'm really happy. This is great. By the way, and again, these are the custom battery packs from eWheels. You buy any of the Godway wheels from eWheels, and you're going to get their custom battery packs. I'm pretty sure it's all their wheels. Maybe not all of them, but most of them. For all you guys who are paranoid about battery fires, get your wheel from eWheels, and I think you'll be happy. These, by the way, I remember when I first opened it up, I didn't know what these were. These are temperature alarms, speakers or buzzers associated with custom BMS, which goes along with these batteries, which is cool. So, all right, well, that's good. I'm not going to open up the other side because I don't see why it would be any different than this. But I'm going to put the side back on, and let's open up the top, the control board area, and see what that looks like. As you may recall, I drilled these holes in the back per recommendation from Godway to add more airflow, and of course I ground out a big hole inside there too. So I am kind of interested to see if there's any additional dust and dirt got into this top component. Okay, moment of truth. Well, I see zero evidence of any dust and dirt in here. So that is really good. So that does kind of demonstrate that whatever airflow is going underneath the control board on the heatsink, there's zero air getting up to the top, which is good for to keep the dirt out of there, but maybe not so good for cooling. So A+ in terms of air sealing inside this wheel. Really good. Well, there you have it, guys. After 1,100 miles, this wheel has been working fantastic. I love it. I'm really enjoying riding with this, and it's stood up to the abuse that I've thrown at it, and I'm really happy with how it's looking inside and outside. So shortly I'll be releasing my wrap-up video of the Commander. I would be giving you my pluses and minuses, and I'll compare it against the Sherman Monster Pro, which I think are the most relevant competitors to this wheel. Thanks for stopping by.